Making sure my sound works. Okay, seems to be working. So I think I'll get started here. As soon as I move things a little bit. Kind of an unexpected show today, but I figured I need a break from other stuff that I'm doing. So I figured I'd jump on and kind of tell you guys some of the themes that I've been getting calls and texts on. Uh, I'm going to cover 4 themes. Might take me 30 minutes, might take an hour. We'll see how much feedback I get. The 4 themes are going to be winter dog care. Listen to this. Training and pet scams. Been getting a lot of calls on both. Training and pet scams. And then the third one, it would be, well, the fourth one will be Christmas management. How do you manage your dog during Christmas? Just pretty much those 4 themes. All right, pet care, training, and pet scams, and Christmas management. We're going to get those 4 things done today on the Canine Man Show with Hector Hernandez. So give me a few seconds, and then we'll go and get started. See, I told you that wasn't going to take long. That was really quick. I want to cover 4 things today, and hopefully once you get on and you watch my replay, you learn something from this. Kind of a quick show that I wanted to do because I was thinking, I got probably my 4th or 5th text in the last 4 days about training scams, dog training scams. A few on pet buy-in scams. We're going to talk about both of them. It's kind of a new thing, which being in the dog training arena, it kind of disappoints me, but also I want to educate the public more about both of those. The winter care, I just posted something on my First Class Dog Training Facebook page about winter care. I think the most major things we can infer that everybody has their dogs inside in a warm place. If not, you're up blank. But let's just infer that you do. I think 2 things that people forget are going to be trimming their hairs at the bottom of their pads and making sure that their pads are moist. One of the things that we forget is if we do pour salt, sometimes that dries their pads out. So we need to moisten them up, and then trimming the hair so snow doesn't collect on that hair. And it's very uncomfortable for some dogs. So you want to trim the outer pad and then the bottom of their pad too. When they come inside, they could slip and slide, kind of make sure they don't get injured at that time. Barb Beers is on here. Boy, it's been a long time, Barb. Hope you're doing well. I think you're down to 20 dogs now. I'm kidding. But kind of winter dog care. I think another good tidbit is, man, just keep your eye on your dog near water. If you don't have a good recall, please just keep him on a long leash. Don't take the risk. Don't take the risk. I got 2 phone calls last year, and both of them, boy, they were tough. They were tough. They assured me they'll come to me for training, and they did. with their next dogs, but it's hard finding those dogs. I know one person doesn't have a good recall, still has a life vest on their dog in the winter, which is fine. It's a good way to manage the dog. But still, just have a good recall. Even if you do have a good recall, if you're near water, make sure you're supervising them. A couple seconds not supervising them, they could be gone. These dogs run as fast. They run really fast. So just keep an eye on them. I hate getting those, those phone calls and then having to, process everything. It's not easy, but of course, at the same time, if you do call me, we'll talk through it. That's what I'm here for. But pet winter care, very important, very important. Make sure you give your dog warm temperature water. Make sure you don't leave them out for very long. Look for the signs of them being cold. Sometimes they'll play and not even tell you they're cold, just because they're being very excited. So just keep an eye on them. Let's talk about training scams. What is a new thing happening right now? So let me tell you about a training scam that I do not approve of. That is when a trainer upsells everything, sells you a package between $4,000 to $6,000, and maybe even has a book. And I'm telling you, I've seen these people, and I say people because I don't think they're trainers. They're more salesmen than they are trainers. They're just doing basic obedience and coming to your house over and over again, taking up a lot of your time. And they're selling these packages between $6,000. I think it's more of a scam when they try to convince you to be a trainer and certify you to be a trainer, and then adding more upsells. So just be careful. Read some reviews. Make contact with people. Ask people on Facebook if they've used them, if they've trained them, and is it worth it? And then, you always hear some boarding scams where they board your dog. And I think right now there's a county near me that's going through a trial with a boarding kennel. Of course, you don't know all the details. I'm just saying, just kind of leaves you really not feeling good about leaving your dog somewhere for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. It just doesn't. I mean, it could be medical reasons why they, things happen to them. Could be training reason, abuse. Could be them not just being qualified to see the signs of stress. And remember, some dogs won't eat under a tremendous amount of stress. And so they really, it's kind of scary out there with your own dogs. Probably the third thing is probably the shock collar method. It works great in the beginning, but it comes with some strong, heavy issues in the long run if you don't manage the stress. And that's the key word, managing their stress. They can't drink or smoke. And the fact that they can't talk to you, you have to be able to understand their body language as a form of communication because they can't talk to you. And that's one of the reasons, that I developed my massage technique was because of dogs who have been trained with shock collars and very stressed. Not just because of that. It was a major reason why. But these training scams, they'll take you for a couple thousand easy. So just be careful. Just be very careful. I'm in the impression of one and done. Let me go to you, do a house call, or do a training session with you, help you, I teach you how to fix it, and then I also instruct you how to solve the problem, which is extremely important. Training just does so much. You have to learn about their stomach. You have to learn about managing. You have to learn about the dog. You have to learn about how to solve the problem. And majority of the problems are solved through what? Exercising them in the way that complements their instinct. So, and then again, the training method. I think I went to 3 house calls in the last month, and I haven't had to use, I used treats with 2 of them and massaged another one. So it wasn't, I mean, the reason why it's important, if they come to your house to do a house call, they should be able to see the real dog. They should be able to see the real dog. Or if they don't come to your house, tell them, how does this training apply at home? How can I use it to help me at home? These are the issues that I'm having at home. All right. And then let's talk about, make sure if I have any issues here. I have 3 dogs now. 4th on, got hit by a car. My son's dog, but dogs are inside warm. That's tough, man. That's tough, Barbie, to hear that. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Barbie. Yeah. Make sure you guys manage your dogs. Keep them close to you. Sorry to hear that. Not easy to see if you're seeing it too. Woo. So let's talk about, if you want to go back to training scams, we can. But there's no way. I've never, I guess in my experience, training dogs, it was primarily coming to class. I don't see a training package that should cost between $4,000 to $6,000 where they come to your house. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I could see it if they're training your dog as a service dog or they're boarding your dog, between $2,000 to $4,000, but $6,000? Oh, and then they try to convince you to be a trainer and they sell you this training package. I just don't see it. I personally think it's a scam. Why? Because it shouldn't take that long to train a dog. It shouldn't take that long to train your dog. I mean, I have a bunch of flyers. It got a lot of information. Training just fixes your problems. Your issue is solving them. And remember, you solve them with the gut, with stress, mental and physical, but it shouldn't take that long. At least teaching them the concepts. And then, of course, it's your job to teach them anyways. So that's what I want to make sure that I cover with training scams. Let's talk about pet scams. What I mean by pet scams is people selling you puppies. Around this time, you get very emotionally driven to buy a gift. And remember, a con artist's gift is to get you very emotionally charged. So you make an emotional decision, not a logical decision. All right? Very important. Very intellectual, educated people fall for these con artist traps because their intellect is not active. It's their emotions. So it's not about how smart you are. It's how emotionally under control you are when you're buying this animal for somebody. And then you have to consider, is this the right breed of dog? Is this the right time to get a dog in the winter? Potty training is not easy. Can they manage this puppy with their lifestyle right now, where it really counts when they're young? So that's just the beginning. And we still have to talk about how these con artists work as far as the pricing. Oh my gosh. Look at if their pricing is lower than your average pricing out there, that should send you a red flag. I really try to tell people to not buy outside their state because you can't directly evaluate and or have recourse. It makes it difficult to have the recourse afterwards. So try to buy within state and or be visible there to see the puppies. Don't count on just phone, internet. Don't count on that. Take the effort, take the time to go directly there. Very, very important. They're going to try to make an urgent sell. You have to buy this now or someone else is going to buy this dog. If you don't buy it now, I have to sell it. The urgency, again, puts you where? In emotions. You got to be able to lose your logic. You got to be able to use your logic. Don't take Cash App. Don't take Venmo. Don't take those direct payments. Zell, don't take those direct payments. Nah, it's hard to get recourse back. So again, be careful with those payments. Make sure you're there. Make sure you see the pet. Take an effort to have someone in that area go see the dog. Very, very important. Call a vet to see if they're familiar in that area with this place. I mean, I've had to do that. I've had to call a vet. They say they're in this area, so you choose a vet. Who's your vet? And then you make the contact. If they don't have a vet, it's kind of a red flag in that area, okay? They use stolen photos. The Google has an excellent thing where you can take their image and then do an image search on it to see if someone else is using it. Use it. That's what it's there for. It's just a lot. I hear about this almost year after year about people just getting emotionally driven and not being able to recourse and get their money back. Meet the breeder. Meet the seller in person. It should be a 2 transactional sale, right? You meet them first, see the puppy, then you purchase it. All right? If they want a deposit, be careful. That maybe the deposit is all they want as a con artist. They don't want anything else. All right? And then just look for the upsale prices too, on these dogs. But the biggest thing is, honestly, is just them emotionally charging you. You should be wanting to sell. They shouldn't be selling you the puppy. You should be buying the dog. They shouldn't be selling you a used car like they would a used car. So just be careful. Emotions. Very, 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 very important. Let's see if I have. Remember the reverse images. Just take a picture, put it on Google, see if somebody else is using that image. That seems to be a good one. I've even contacted AKC, UKC, CKC. Contact them if they know about this breeder, or ask them if it's AKC, UKC, CKC. I think there's a few other ones out there that you can do. If it's a sport dog, ask them if they've done sporting, and then contact the nearest sport place and confirm. So I just don't want you to get scammed with buying a puppy. Thank you, Jody. Appreciate you. Let's see here. So let's do the other one, Christmas management. So I didn't make one about Thanksgiving management, which I should have, because quite a few people out there spent a lot of money on vet bills during Thanksgiving. And you might save yourself some money during Christmas too. I think the biggest thing is just know your dog. If your dog is overstimulated with people, if it has a personal space, if it jumps on people a lot, if it's obsessed about eating something, just put it away. Focus on your family. Focus on your friends. Take the dog out. Play with him. Bring him in. Let him socialize in a controlled environment. And then if you can't supervise the dog, then put it away. One of my go-to things is if somebody's drinking, I just put my dog away. My dog, because my dog, knows how to bite, so I just put my dog away. Alcohol and aggressive dogs don't mix. They just don't. Alcohol, drugs, and aggressive dogs don't mix. Special needs people, adults or kids, put the dog away. You can control your dog sometimes better than you can supervise the adult. Nobody's perfect. Safety for them. You got to protect them. Kids, same thing. Put your dog away. When time permits, play with them, get them out, have everybody see your dog, play with them, and then put them away. That's pretty much what I would do. I mean, most of the people, their dogs are there for 4, 6, 8 hours. The people are there for 4, 6, 8 hours. And just manage your dog in that time. I tell you what, it's a lot better than a dog bite. A lot better than having your dog eat something because you're not supervising. I mean, just look at the cause and effects if you don't manage your dog. and so on. So just something to think about. Let's see here. Again, winter dog care, training scams, pet buying scams, Christmas management. And I will be doing another canine massage seminar. And Barb, I expect you to be there, Barb Beers, even if I have to buy your ticket. The last one went really well. I had a great time, great feedback, and I've added a few things since then that I've learned to just to make things a little more clearer. I think if you guys go to it, it's going to be probably sometime in February. I still have to work on more of it as far as writing it. There's the PowerPoint, and then there's a booklet that I want to add to it. So when people come, they can take something with them and not have to take pictures or notes. I need your divided attention. I need your undivided attention. I need you to focus on what I'm saying and what I mean, so when you read it, it makes sense to you. And then if anybody was there, you'll know how I have videos to support just about every massage. So the video will help you understand why I massage the way I do and where. And then I have videos of before and after. Now I focus on aggression because of liability. So I have very aggressive dogs, and then after massage, you get to see their reaction. Just so you can compare how good the massage works. Okay, very, very important. I'm going to see if I have any questions here in my other pages. My comment section's not working on my restream. So I'll look and see what I got here for questions in each page really quick. It doesn't take long. I only have 3 pages. So it makes things a little bit easier. But I'm also waiting for your questions if you have any. Hi, Hector, my big boy. Titus needs training. I'm in Oakland County. Any recommendation? He's a huge problem at the vet. Thank you, Nancy. Hey, Nancy, get a hold of me, Nancy. I do go to Oakland County sometimes, and I do have to go. I'm trying to get my mouse in order. Here it is. I do have to go in. I'm going to look at my calendar right now, Nancy. I do have to go in January in Oakland County for a test on a dog bite expert case. So, I might even be able to see you the last week of December. Yeah, get a hold of me. I'll be able to get you in. I have to go there for some special stuff there. Don't want to say over the internet or Facebook. But yeah, get a hold of me. It's best to get a hold of me on my email, michigandogtraining@gmail.com. I'm having a hard time with Facebook just because I get so many DMs. So go to my michigandogtraining@gmail.com and send me a text, and I'll send you out a few days. I got to schedule some more days that I'm open. Or you can go to my First Class Dog Training website also. So I hope that helps, Nancy. I'm going to go on to my other page here. And that should, my goodness, tell you what, I'm getting better at this stuff, but it doesn't mean that I'm really good at it. I will do my best to go to, yeah, I'm telling you, just by some of the stuff you wrote, anytime I have a dog that's over 4 years old, or depending on the variables that the owner tells me that they're experiencing with their dog, I always start with a massage. And if I can't do it, my job is to teach the owner how to do it. Why wouldn't I be able to do it? too aggressive, too loyal, too stressed. It may not want me to make it uncomfortable, not bonded with me. So again, and one key thing to remember about, training scams, you're not a trainer until you make your skills transferable. Them blaming you is lack of taking responsibility for their ability to communicate with you and transfer their skills onto you. So if they say, well, it's your fault that the dog's this way, that's not good enough. It's my fault, but now you help me take responsibility. What do I need to do to fix it and solve it? Just by telling you it's my fault, that's fine. I mean, if you think I am overpraising, then let me know. If you think I should praise more, then let me know. If you think someone's going hands-on, then let me know. Those are the things that you can't blame the owner. If you tell them that this dog needs exercise 2 to 3 times a day with a ball, and they don't have the time to do that, then that kind of tells you, let the owner decide whether this is a good fit for them. Well, I'll ask them, you think this is a good fit for you? Okay, it is. Okay, this is what you need to do. But I don't ever, as a trainer, I've never spent hours training or hours exercising my dog. It just doesn't work that way. So it's putting too much responsibility on you, way too much. So just be careful with that. So these massage events are in person. Do you also do a video? So Margaret, hi, by the way, Margaret. You can, I have the last one I did at the, oh my goodness, Radisson Inn in East Lansing. And what I do is I schedule it ahead of time. And in that lecture, it's in person. I have people, I have a PowerPoint, and then they can ask questions. I like the feedback that I get. And I like, as a public speaker, I like reading people's body language, because sometimes that helps me, because sometimes people don't speak up or people just are confused. So then just without asking, I qualify it a little bit better, or I can really help them much more even with their own dog if they ask specific questions. So it's very, very important, if you want the best out of it, to be in person. If you want okay out of it, online. I mean, okay, about 25, 30% of the quality that you should get. Of course, 100% would be to bring your dog in, but it just doesn't work that way. But yeah, very, very good. Yeah, I'll answer a few other questions. But just be careful with the dog training scams that are out there right now. It's more in the big city area that you see these targeting people that are desperate. And, I read your emails and I see how desperate you are. And you have to really, really think about this as a trainer. Are you doing this for profit or purpose? Some of these trainers, they charge between $4,000 to $6,000. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't see how someone could charge you that much for any issue that you have. This is why I really, really, if you have an issue, just send me a text. I'll send you flyers that pertain and somewhat educate you on what you should do. So if you do hire a trainer, you kind of know a little bit about your issue and know the level of expectations that you want based on the dog that you have with the small amount of information that you have from me. All collectively helps you not get scammed. Really does. I'll take your dog for a week and I'll train it and I'll charge you $3,000. Okay, but I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't know the long-term effects of this method. Yes, it looks great. Sit, stay down, come and heel with a shock collar. But do you know the long-term effects after a year or 2 years using the shock collar? Is there any? What are they? Those are the questions you need to ask. And then realize too, is this the right dog for this method? And ask these questions. If the trainer doesn't know these answers, it kind of should throw out a red flag. You should know these answers as a trainer. And one of the most important things I tell people about trainers, most important thing, is that their dog's a reflection of their training. So if they have a dog and they're using a ball or treats to get them to do good, that's great. It works great. Okay, how is that functional in the problems that I have at home? How is this functional with the problems that I have at home? Can I get him to sit when people come in with a ball, with a treat? And then when I cut him loose, he's fine? Can I get him to recall with a treat or the ball and it's functional? Can I get him to heel in public with a ball or a treat? I mean, these are the things that you really have to ask yourself. Some dogs you can. Is it too much work on you to be functional? Am I going to carry a ball everywhere I go? Am I going to carry treats everywhere I go? I mean, you can. It's not a big deal. But is it functional for you as an owner? Yes, it looks good on video. Yes, it looks good mechanical. I mean, you get some of these dogs like these Belgian Malinois and some other dogs, they do very good under compulsion, very good under stress, very good under pressure. The problem arises is when they get older. That's where the problem arises. And is it functional under your circumstances? I don't care if my dog moves up and down really fast, turns really quick. I need it functional in my house. I'm not in competition. So these are the things that you really need to ask your trainer. And then as far as buying a pet, just do not get emotionally driven. Take a second, take emotions out of it. Why is this person trying to sell me this puppy? Why does he keep pressure selling me? Why does he always want money? That you got to be very, very careful to not be emotionally driven. All right, take a second. I had a person who I would never thought would fall for a scam. Never. Because he was emotionally driven, he almost fell for the scam. You never would have thought this person would have. But he contacted me, and I went through the steps, and I'm like, no, this is a scam. This is another state. He wants money as a deposit right away. He's not sending you pictures that are current. Look at the date. You can look at the date, and then we did a reverse search on the pictures, and somebody else was using that picture. It was like an ongoing scammer's picture. Very cute person. So very, very cute person and dog to what? Put you in an emotional, unbiased state of mind. All right? So very, very important not to get emotionally driven. Chris Schultz, I did it. I got on the show for you, buddy. I hope you're doing good, Chris. I hope your dog's doing good, Chris. Miss you, buddy. Let's see here. Let me look at my other. So if you're on a replay and you're listening to this replay, you know my show was about three things. It was about winter care, making sure you cut the hair in the bottom of your dog's paws, nails, and making sure you keep their pads moist. I think the best one is it mush pad? I think it is the one that I like preferably. I don't use salt on my driveway or anything, so my dog paws usually don't dry. But there are some for dogs, but it still dries them. And then I talked about pet training scams, upselling you even a trainer's package to get you to be a trainer. $4,000 to $6,000 right now is the going scam for them. I think it's a scam, even though they come to your house and train your dog. I think it's a scam, in my opinion, because it should not take 2 months, 3 months to train your dog. You know, it just shouldn't. You know, and then the pet scams. You getting so emotionally driven because it is Christmas, and you do have, it's a spirit of giving. These con artists, they depend on you to be emotionally driven to make an emotional decision, not a logical one, not an intellectual one. By making an emotional decision, they can take you. They can take you. And they already know your weakness. Your weakness is a puppy. They already know that, so they just thrive on that. All of them have a different art of scamming you. All of them do. I mean, some people say it's the same old thing. It's not. Each one, they read you very well to know how much to push you, how much to bully you, how much to make you emotionally driven. You know, yes, when I mean bullying you, I mean bullying you. All right. Some get very passive aggressive. So just be very, very careful. And then the last thing I want to make sure that you know is that I will be doing another tension massage seminar in the knee in February. I'm hoping for February, just because I know I get tied up with lectures. So just be very careful. Hello, Shelly. I get to see here. Let me see something here. I'm trying to see. Somebody left a comment, and I can't see why. Yeah, somebody's just being immature on my DMs. They think that it is okay to charge $4,000 to $6,000. I just don't. That's just my. I mean, maybe they do, but I don't. I mean, I think that's ridiculous. Of course, some people think it's ridiculous what I charge, but understand that. I think people don't realize this, but I spent probably 15 years not getting paid at all. At all for training. I learned at animal control, humane societies, and then I volunteered a lot of my time with police canines and also with different trainers who did scam me. But I just wanted to learn. And it about 15 years to learn an art. And then I had to go through the learning curve of finding my own way of doing things. All right. And then I had to do trial and error, and now I pretty much got it. But I went to a call just the other day. It literally only took me 15 minutes to figure out the problem. So again, when you're dealing with somebody, listen to this. When you're dealing with somebody with the right experience, you could be doing something for 30 years and do it wrong for 30 years. When you're dealing with somebody with the right experience, and I admit I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning. I admit I fail a lot, but that's the whole process of developing your art. And this is why it's important when you first work with a first-year trainer or two-year trainer. It's okay. I mean, it's good. They need to learn, but sometimes they can't charge that amount because of their inability to foresee a problem and or resolve a problem quickly and help you. And then the biggest art that you learn as a dog trainer is this is not a dog business. This is a people business. You got to be able to listen. You got to be able to respond. And you got to be able to articulate at that person's level to get them to understand it. Okay? That's simple. I wouldn't say that's simple, but it's not easy. And then you have to be very, very transparent in the problems that you see to help them. One of the things, remember, if you've come to me, hands are for love. If somebody that I know is going very heavy-handed on their dog, my job is not to directly accuse them or even convict them, it's to help them. Because some people just don't know. I mean, that's an understanding, not an excuse. But they just don't know how to correct a dog that's doing something that's destructive or to them cost them a lot of money, but to the dog, it was no value. And it is, again, that's emotionally driven too. So then there's things that you have to really help the owner, not just the dog. So sometimes it's the experience that you're paying for, not my time. Not my time. I think most calls that I get to are under an hour. Very rare that I do 2 hours, but I just make sure that I have all the questions. If it's needed, I video before and after, or even during, so I can recall it and help them later. So just be careful with 4,000 to 6,000, and then try to sell you a trainer's package. Come on, people, that's crazy. That's crazy. Shelly Walker from AC. Yeah, Shelly Walker from my, I think it was Genesee County, right? Shelly, I remember you. Shelly Walker, Ziggy getting better. Good. Okay, sounds good. I tell you what, Margaret, you'll learn a lot. I learn a lot. I think I learned a couple things from my audience. Honestly, I've been doing public speaking for 25 years, and I still learn stuff from my audience. It's awesome. That's why I keep an open dialogue to make sure that you're freely thinking to help me. You got to remember, everybody thinks differently. So the hardest thing about public speaking and even doing a lecture and even on the tension massage is articulating it so people understand it. Not just know it, but understand it. And then sometimes you have to use a certain verbiage so everybody understand it, not just one person. Okay. And then in doing so, the semantics of things is very important. You have what you should say, and then you have what you need to say because of the culture or the way the word has changed through time. So it's not easy, but it's a nice art to master, to help people. I love it. I love it. It's what I love to do. So I'll check your website for days. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, you betcha. Shelly, if I remember right, we did a talk at the county that you work at. We took the most stressful puppy out of there. Well, only puppy, dog. And man, I tell you what, did we see a transformation or what? Woof, my goodness. Let's see here. I'm getting another. I could screenshot these and show them to everybody, but come on. These people, they want attention. They want attention. They want drama. I don't give them drama. It's not worth it. I do keep screenshots though. I do that. Because some of these trainers could be expert witnesses in cases that I'm in, and I want to be able to have something if their opinion changes. And of course, your opinion can change as an expert witness based on many circumstances. I mean, one little thing can change it all, So there is no blanket statement for everything. There can't be. Too many variables when humans are involved for it to be a blanket statement. So you have to look at, I think in the legalese terms, you have to look at totality of the circumstances for everything. Video cannot tell you everything. It just can't. You have to really look at everything. So I hope this helped today. Winter dog care, training and pet scams, Christmas management. Just get to know who your dog is, and don't set them up to fail. Don't set them up to fail. If you guys really think about it, how much is a vet bill after an incident at home? If you're not paying attention, your dog eats something, or your dog bites something. How much is the emergency room care? How much is a lawsuit? You're setting your dog up to fail. There's too many people around. It's not the time to socialize your dog. It's not the time to expose your dog to people. If there's drinking or forbid drugs are around, put your dog away. Not worth it. Not worth to set your dog up to fail. And, of course they're not going to say they're drunk. Of course they're not going to say they're on drugs. They're just going to see that the dog bit this person. And then it just looks like a strike on your dog. It looks terrible. I'm dealing with, an office right now who set their dog up to fail. And the dog bit somebody in an office, and now the dog looks like the bad guy. But really, it should have been the responsibility of the care of the people to make sure that they don't set the dog up to fail. And even as us as owners, we need to know how not to set our dogs up to fail when we take our dogs to get looked at, whether it be nail clipping, vet care, the groomers. We have to make sure we don't set the dogs up to fail. One of the reasons why I like the head collar is for that reason. It could also be used as a muzzle. You go to cut your dog's nails, put the head collar on, you manage him, put the head up, cut the nails, go to the vets, put the head collar on. It's a muzzle in case you need it. You got to remember, a veterinarian is going to pick and prod on dogs that may not like. So, of course, they're going to indirectly provoke the dog. So you have to make sure that you manage and control your dog. You make sure you don't set them up to fail for that reason. All right? Very, very important. For your dog's sake. For your dog's sake. Let's see here. You know what? I really like the reverse photos on the pet scams. I can't tell you how many ads I see, and then I copy the picture, and then I look it up on Google Images and do a reverse picture and see how many other scammers are using it. Oh, it's crazy. Oh, it's funny. And then who knows what AI is going to do, right? That's not fun either. So just be careful out there, people. If you have a question with dog training, as far as scams or even scams with pets, shoot me a text. It takes me 3 seconds, 3 minutes to look at it, and I'll do my best to help you. All right? Especially the pet scams. I'm getting really good at identifying pet scams right off the bat. It's kind of my side hobby to break my thinking with my other topics that I do to learn from. Just kind of reconnect my thinking somewhere else to go back and think clearer. But pet scams are on the rise, and then dog training scams. I've just seen an uptick of them. A lot of trainers in this area lately, which is good. So many trainers that it shifted my training onto house calls and tension massages, which is great. Anytime there's a shift, if you're dedicated to what you do, you're going to shift. You're going to shift with it. Okay, you're going to shift with it. So my shift is learning more about tension massaging, which is great. Getting my lecture out, getting my book out for it, and then also doing house calls. And look what the house calls are doing. And the people who have had me do house calls, they have seen better results in 30 minutes in their own home than they have in training. Why? In some cases, it's because of my experience, but in a lot of the cases, it's because I see the dog in its true environment, and I also see exactly what the owner needs work on. You can't do that in a class. There's some house calls that I've been to already. I couldn't have helped them in the class. Well, I could have, and then take their money, but really not help them unless I was at their house. So it literally shifted my training in a better aspect of it. And so again, let these new trainers, they went through all my stuff. I know they've gone through my flyers. It's great. They need to. If you're going to do it, at least do it right, or at least do it, at least learn from somebody who's already made the mistake so you don't have to make them. How does that sound? I'll contact a few trainers contact me and say, here's this flyer, this flyer, this flyer, this flyer, this flyer. I've already screwed up by doing this, and that. Here you go. Here's a good start. All right, there's a trainer in Texas, all puppy information. Boom, now she's doing puppy training. That's the best thing that she could have done to start, is to get to know puppies and then just work your way up to adults. All right, very good at what she does. But it's important to go to somebody who already has made all the mistakes. So these flyers will help you. All right, and none of my puppy flyers have to do with teaching consequences, teaching boundaries. You shouldn't have to if you do it right when they're puppies. Shouldn't have to. It's all habit form. It's when the dog's evolved because you've made a mistake, or the dog evolved because you got it already from an adoption agency and somebody else already screwed it up or didn't do it. Then you have to do something. But some of these trainers that I know, when they raise a puppy, they never have to give them boundaries. They never have to use consequences because they've raised a dog to develop habits that carry over into adulthood. So you don't have to. And that's the whole purpose of it. Best trainer out there. Hey, thanks, Doug. Man, your post cracked me up, Doug. Holy moly, man. If I need a laugh, Doug, I just go on your posts and I just look at what you got. Man, you got some funny stuff out there. And laughing, of course, helps. Laughing helps me. Oh, my goodness. Yes, and did the training. That was just awesome. People there learned a lot. Yeah, I remember. Oh, man, Shelly. One of the biggest mistakes I made, Shelly, that day is I didn't have it videoed. And I tell you what, it's one of the rare times where I actually cried a little bit with I actually cried a little bit from what I did in a good way. After we massaged that dog, and when that dog came in, just for give you a little bit of context, people, I did a dog behavior seminar for an animal control shelter, and I told them to bring out the most stressed, nervous dog that they had. And they brought me the dog in front of the class. They brought me the dog, and as soon as the dog came in and saw everybody, it took a stress dump right there. Boom. So we cleaned it up, and then I started to massage the dog. And this dog went from a complete basket tight case. And then I told them what I wanted to see to let them know that what I was doing was productive and correct. So after I massaged it, maybe 5-10 minutes, it opened its mouth, and it was just the happiest dog you could ever imagine. And then literally I didn't do a baby cry, sobbing. I didn't do that, but I did shed a few tears. Yeah, the biggest mistake I made was not recording it, but that's okay. I got some good testimonials from it. That's pretty much all I need. I think I would have loved to record it just for my tension massage lecture that I do, which at the time I didn't. It was just pretty much the start of my tension massage learning is when I went there. So I think I was in the first or second year of exploring it. And then learning the ins and outs, meaning learning how dogs stretch will determine where their stress is, how to massage them, where to massage them, how do you do it, why do you do it, why don't you stretch them, what's the best exercise for them, when do they start, why here, why there. I mean, all these questions are asked. And it's good. It's good because all put together, they all make sense. I even learn something the more research I do. Where is the most stress on a dog because of their conformation? Where is the spots that are more stressed in the body? Weight-bearing areas. Where are those? In those areas, we need to target first, but why? And then how can they change? And then we go from there. A lot of variables to it, but a lot of information, but a lot of fun. It really is. At least I think it is. Let's see here. No questions on it, you guys. Just don't get emotionally driven on these sales. Do not get emotionally driven. How do they emotionally drive you? They rush you. They rush you to make a decision. They try to sell you a puppy like they would a car. They try to give you a lot of hyperbole. All right? They try to make it an emotional event instead of a selling event. Why are they going to make it an emotional event? So you don't use your logic. You don't use your intellect. You use your emotions. So they try to seduce you emotionally so you can make an emotional decision, not a logical one. Hello, Darlene Lapham. Nice to see you're on here. I just seen you pop up. I just want to make sure that I don't have any more questions because I'm gonna go another 5 minutes. So I'm on my Hector Speaks page. So if you have a question, let me know. Shelter dogs are so, aren't they though, Shelly? But wouldn't you be, I mean, make the parallel. Well, I hope you never go to prison. But that is really stressful. Very stressful. I think for the dogs too, Shelly. I mean, you think about it, they're not with their owners. They're in this cage. They're locked up most of the day. Of course, with you guys do an outstanding job getting them out and playing with them, which, man, I think that's really good there where you're at. But, I mean, but even then they're stressed. They're being deprived of being in a home that is less, of course, a lot less stressful. Of course they're going to develop tension there. Of course they are. So it's very, very important to make sure that to identify the signs of stress, which I will show you, but also knowing how that stress got there and how to get rid of it. I mean, dogs can't drink or smoke. They can't get rid of the stress, with some 420 or with some liquor. All right. They got to get rid of it destructively and productively. And I talk about that too. So there's a lot to it. But Ziggy eats snow. How do I get him to stop? Make him drink some water. His mouth, sometimes when they're stressed, Ziggy, their mouth becomes dry. So they eat snow or they're really thirsty. And my dog eats snow when she's thirsty. I had her out doing a lecture the last few days, and during break, I didn't have time to get her water. So she just went and got some snow. I just let her. Not a big deal. I know why she's doing it, so that's okay. If they do it obsessively, Chris, obsessively, like nonstop, you might want to give them a toy to bite while they're outside. You might want to keep them on a lead. You might put a head halter on them if you walk them. Just make sure they're not dehydrated. I know your dog was sick for a while. So if you don't know how to check for dehydration on your dog, look it up online. You lift the scruff up and you let go of it. If it goes down slow, they need water. If it goes down fast, they're good. But if it goes down slow, make sure they have water. All right, put water in their food. Give them warm temperature water. Things like that. Very, very important. But yeah, if he had a stomach issue, he might eat the snow to calm him too at the same time. Yeah, just be aware of that. Those are all understandings, not excuses. But I mean, I as long as it's not obsessive, that's okay. Just make sure, Chris, that you cut the hair on the dog's paws in between there and around sometimes. The nails are good so they don't slip a lot on the ice. You don't want them too long, but you don't want them too short neither. Usually don't have a problem with short nails. What else? Make sure they're moist. Make sure they're moist. All right. All right, you guys. Look for my my next show. Maybe I'll just pop in January. I want to do a lecture on the tension massage again, and help you guys make these dogs happy. Make them happy. Make sure their behavior is not unpredictable. I know when the dog is very physically tense, the most common thing I hear from the owners is, I've never seen him do that. That's the first time he's ever done it. That just tells me that he snapped. He's had enough tension that he doesn't know how to relieve it, and now he's going to be a little unpredictable. Underground fence, maybe the dog's not doesn't have the temperament for electric shock, but he's got an underground fence. That could add stress. Or maybe they're using the shock collar too much. That could add. I went to look at a police dog, and his vest was causing physical stress. It was tilting a little bit, so the opposite side of his body. I mean, his shoulder was tense. So if his shoulder was tense, and then I felt back on the opposite side, and that was tense too because he was compensating for it. So his dog was getting very, very wiry, and he couldn't relax the dog. So we massaged both those areas, and he relaxed. And then we had to talk about, when do you put the vest on? So just kind of some things like that. You got to be able to read body language, and I'll teach that. Even looking at their nails could tell you if there's something wrong, if they're injured. Yes, even looking at their nails could tell you that they're injured. All right? All right, you guys, 8 o'clock. Time to go back to work. I had a good training session with Jeff Arteby today. We did some bite work with my dog, and then I seen his dog progress like you wouldn't believe today. Wow, beautiful to see dogs progress with a trainer. All right, any other questions, send me a message, michigandogtraining@gmail.com. Send me a text, 517-712-5012. We'll be placing more one-on-ones on my website. Just give me a chance. I have to look at my lecture schedule. Great to have you here today. Any questions about pet training scams, pet cell scams, winter care for your dog, and then most importantly, when is my next lecture? Go on my website or ask me a question. We'll see ya next month, you guys. Thanks for being here, you guys. Really. I literally always like to have a good time with my people who are here. Thank you. Thank you, Shelly. I appreciate that. You're wonderful yourself. I appreciate that. Ramirez, thank you for coming on from Mexico. Appreciate that.